Good morning, everybody. It's time for your daily dose of inspiration. I'm Miracle Sims, and I want to welcome you to The Juice. It is April 3rd, 2020, and today I think I want to just go ahead and talk about creativity. Now, I know that creativity is a gift from God. To be honest, I would say over the past few days with doing this concept and bringing you all the juice for the past 3 days. I've been feeling refreshed as well. My creative juices have been flowing, and I just thank God for this opportunity. But yeah, I just want to, chit chat about creativity because it's one of those things that, when it's good and it's flowing, it's just like this great breath of fresh air. But then there's these times where it could also be stifled. I'm sure you guys may know what I mean, but let me just give you all an example. Now I'm just gonna bring this up now, and I hope that you all, those of you that are strong supporters of this individual, please do not come for me. This is just an example. But I was reminded of the great theologian Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Beyond, don't come for me. I swear I'm probably not gonna say nothing too bad. But yeah, I was reminded of like them back in college, right? And that was like when they were when I was in college, they were very strong with Destiny's Child, and it was it was out there that Beyonce was writing all the songs and all this stuff, right? And then you heard about the song Bootylicious. Does anyone remember that? I'm pretty sure you all do. And it was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like she was the main writer of that song, Bootylicious. And so, when you just see that word by itself, you probably think like, where are we going with this, right? But I feel like this is a great example of having like supportive people around you that understand your vision, or at least support your vision, because I can't imagine how that conversation went when she went to the producers or she went to her group or whatever and was like, hey guys, Bootylicious. You know what I'm saying? But they made it a whole movement. They made it a whole thing. This thing, even though you might have questioned it in the beginning, you find yourself singing it, all of that, right? So again, it's like, it kind of makes me think about those times where I have been creative, or you've been given this idea, you've been given this vision, or whatever it is, and you might share it because you're excited. But then you get around the type of people, and I know you all have heard this name for them. They're called naysayers and dream killers. You come around those type of people, right? I find, and this is just me, I find that these type of people, they at least maybe some of the naysayers or dream killers that came into my life, I guess, I would just say that I feel like they have the best intentions, but then just sometimes maybe their delivery is a little bit like, okay, are you trying to help me right now, or are you trying to stop me? And I can be honest and say that because of some things I went throughout my life, I take criticism a little differently now than I probably did some years ago. And that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to stay on topic with the juice, but I just want to let that be known that, sometimes, things feel a little different to me these days. But even with that being said, I think it is something to be said for like watching who you share your vision with, and who you have around you, and who you add into your circle. Like, I know a lot of times you hear about people just keeping things to themselves because they feel like, oh, this is gonna, you're just gonna get these type of people that are like gonna try to bring it down or whatever. I think you just have to get the right people. Like, again, like when you think about this whole bootylicious thing, get the right people around you and it can go far, so it's not that you have to just kind of keep it to yourself or just only work alone. Like, don't get into that habit of feeling like I can't share this with anyone, or I gotta keep this all to myself, because sometimes it's not. I feel like the things that we go through isn't necessarily about us anyway. It's for us to share with others, and ultimately lead people to Christ, But yeah, it's just one of those things that, you just got to find balance with. There's time to speak about things and there's time to not speak about things. So there's time to like share, and then there might be time to be like, okay, I'm gonna hold back. But I can't say sometimes, and you'll know the type of people, or like who you can share stuff with and who you can't. Because I can say for me, I've literally felt like the shifts happening within like certain conversations or certain situations, and you're like, okay, this person is bringing a whole different energy to this situation. Or you can be flowing and they come in and just suck the life out of it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, whoa, okay, maybe this isn't, maybe I shouldn't have shared this with you. No, but just a little honesty there, I can totally understand we can get into those type of situations all the time. But before you get big-headed people now, we might be feeling real creative, might be feeling like, oh, we are, this is my masterpiece. I am doing it. I come up with these great ideas. But let's just go ahead and bring it all back down, because the one that has the most creativity of all is the creator, God. So let's just remind ourselves of that, friends, before we get big-headed and think about like, oh, we just how about I just get into some Bible and not just keep talking, right? So let's give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. I was reminded of Job 36, 1 through 4. And this is just an example of God and his creativity. So it says, "Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is it that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee an answer thou me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding." So, and then and if you keep reading, y'all, like, he just goes in and gives all these examples of like, you really don't even have the ability or you can't even really question me in what I do, because you hurt me. And on one hand you can kind of look at that and be like, well, dang, God, you real slick at the mouth. Don't come get me, Lord, I'm just talking. You could really think that, he's being, God is like this person that's just talking about himself or something like that. But I kind of see it more so like God just reminding us, like, okay, yeah, I know you got questions, and I know you might be wondering, like, why is this happening to you, and X, Y, and Z, but let me just remind you who I am. And, I find, and I don't know if everybody's relationship with God and everything like that, but I kind of find, for me, I find God to be kind of, like, funny, and, like, this jokester in a way, like, serious for sure, like, don't get me wrong, like, don't get it twisted, right? But at the same time, I do like see him as this like, okay, Job, let me ask you something real quick. Like, you got all these questions, but where were you when I made the earth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I read it, but I mean, that's just me. Maybe I just bring humor into everything. I don't know, But yeah, I just think that it just kind of goes back and reminds us about, like, the type of people that you have around you. So, again, because even in that verse, it says, who is it that darkest counsel, you know what I'm saying, by words without knowledge. So it's like, sometimes you might get those unsolicited opinions, you know what I mean? Or sometimes you might get those type of people that's like trying to stifle your creativity or try to whatever. But I mean, kind of check it, kind of like keep moving forward, let God lead you, take it with a grain of salt, as they say, chew up the meat, spit out the bones, all that good stuff. But let me remind you of another thing too, since we're talking about a big creative God, right? In Colossians 1:16, it says, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him." So when you think about it like that, even your best idea was given to you by God. You know what I'm saying? So, on one hand, bask in your creativity, try your best to surround yourself with people that will inspire you, encourage you, push you forward and not down, for sure. But at the same time, friends, understand that the Creator himself is even better than you. You know what I'm saying? But we won't keep dwelling on that, friends. Let's get into the verse of the day. So the verse of today is Isaiah 55:11. It says, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." Man. To be honest, that kind of just reminds me of yesterday's juice. When it came to us thinking about like how big, good, great God is, and in this verse right here, it just I mean, man, it's just saying like what I say is not going to return to me void. It's going to prosper. It's going to happen. Like, that's it. Like, when my word says, that's it. Like, how final is that? Like, how much more like peace we can have when we think about that aspect of like, if God made me a promise, or if God said something, like it's done. Like, that's it. I'll let you all let that marinate on your own time. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and just check that out for yourselves. Let that marinate and speak to you. Isaiah 55:11. But yeah, people, that's what I got for you all today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I am your girl, Miracle Sims. And that was your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. Yeah, friends, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. And till next time, bye-bye.